Hey everyone, it's me. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, update. Okay, so what have I been working on? I did finish the Dragonfly kit, like I said, and it's up in all places, so I need to print that out to work on my Dragonfly journal. I still just have teal cardstock here, so next step, need to do that. But I did finish, I had shown you this. Well, I hadn't had it decorated, but just using some Tim Holtz paper and some wallpaper, I made this square little, I thought it was going to be a journal cover. But then once I put the image on the front there, which is a windmill and there's some cows and a pasture, I decided to turn it into an ephemera holder, folder, whatever you want to call it. And I've used ephemera from my kit, Beautiful Bovines, and so both pockets are stuffed with ephemera, and then I have decorated it with some ephemera from Beautiful Bovines as well. So check out that kit, because there's like 12 pages plus ephemera, and so if you want to do a country journal, that would be really great. And then this is really cute. You could turn this into a journal by sewing in a signature or just keep it as an ephemera folder, and it would probably fit inside a bigger journal as well. So this is going up in my shop today. By the time you're watching it, it will be live. And oh, that's what, here it is. I'm almost done with two mini little journals. These are for Gail. So hello, Gail. I had forgotten to include her two freebie journals when she purchased my mystery package before Christmas. And she was so kind to allow me to put these into her next order. So I just have a wallpaper one and then this sweet little one that says Dreamy and Romantic. And the pages are in them. I just need to sew them and then include them in her order when I ship orders tomorrow. So that will be the goal, getting those out. And I have a pile in front of me here that I need to work on, just scraps. And these are kind of my current desk scraps. So I do have scrap bins near me, but I've started doing like a desk scrap pile. And I organize it down to the ones I'm trying to use up. It's worked really well for me. The last few journals that I've posted in my shop, I've used this kind of a system, and I'll add a little bit to it, but it's worked out great for me. So I don't know if I can set up my camera so you can see what I'm doing, but I will give it a try. So hopefully you don't get sick here. That might not work. It might. We will see. Can you see what I'm doing? I guess you kind of can. I have a might be an interesting angle, but that's okay. You can see what I'm doing here kind of up close. So pretty much what I do is, okay, I got little scraps and things, but things that I'm going to use, I throw out trash, I put paper scraps, and then like, here's some ephemera pieces. Right here you can see, sorry that the angle is weird, but I don't know, maybe if I backed you up, I don't know if you can see better or worse that way. We'll give it a go. Can you see me? Can you see me? You can, kinda. Okay, we'll do it this way. So ephemera pieces like that, I put in the pile. Strips and things like that. You know, I'm going to put these in a scrap pile, but, and then that way, what it allows me to do is work through some of the scraps that I will have available for my next journal. And it's working really well for me. Just kind of keeping things in piles nearby. And I like to tidy it up after every journal or so. That way it's not getting out of hand. I go quickly. I try not to think too much about it. If I have a bunch of these like little scrappy papers, they can go in my scrap drawer if I don't want every scrap at hand. But some of the scraps I'm like, yes, I will use that in my next journal, or I want it available. It's not a sophisticated way to do anything, but it's been working for me. My goodness, I get so many strips. I don't know. I try to use them up, but I tell you what, I cannot use them up fast enough. Oh, I know. I want to show you one more thing. I'm almost done with this pile. I want to show you my grungy papers that I try to keep going all the time. Now, I don't get to them all the time because I forget or life happens. But if you can see little scraps like this, they're really grungy. I use my cookie sheet technique that I've shown before, but I thought that I would show you again. It has been wonderful, wonderful. I get all these wonderfully grungy scraps to work with, and honestly, they don't pile up as much as you would expect because I use them. I use them to back ephemera. Like a lot of this ephemera here, these are just printed on 24-pound paper, way too thin to just stick into a journal. So I back them, and sometimes I don't have good backing nearby. So that's been working great for me, and I thought it might help you all out as well. We are almost to the bottom here. Got so many strips and pieces that I need to set aside, but gorgeous ephemera pieces that I still need to use. You'd be surprised at how many ephemera pieces. You print a couple pages of ephemera and it lasts for multiple journals. It's very surprising to me. So even I keep things like this. This is from that embroidery book that I was showing you. It's just a nice weight of paper. It's actually quite thick, and I will probably fold it in half and make a pocket or something like that. Cover it with, I don't know, ephemera, scraps of paper, something like that. So I keep it on hand. Some beautiful butterfly labels. And then as I make this tidy little pile here, I also can kind of get a sense of what I want my next journal to be. I have one little teeny heart here that'll go in my mini box here. This used to have playing cards in it, and I keep teeny tinies in here. I'm sorry, the angle's weird. So once I have that, all right, I think I will try. Well, sorry guys, my hands, I'm still getting used to film different things, so it's growing pains. Maybe I'll get better, I hope. So here's my neat and tidy pile. Okay, we just went through that whole thing together. Now it's neat and tidy, and I will pull from this and add to it as I create my next journal. That doesn't include the teal dragonfly journal. That's going to be just my digital. This will be my next eclectic journal. And I might even start on the cover of that today. I have no idea what it's going to be. So maybe I'll get to show it to you in the next video next week. We'll see. Because I'm also working on some background digital pages with Lonnie, and we're having so much fun. In fact, you enjoyed seeing the dragonfly one. So let me show you what I've been working on. I won't show you her part, but we'll let that be a surprise. But my screen here, and yes, I'm still watching Manifest over here to the side, but like this. You see that gorgeous background page? We're going to, hopefully by the end of the month, we're actually tearing through this project really quickly. So I definitely think by the end of the month, unless we get distracted with something else, the goal is to have about 40 of these pages that are light and they're beautiful for putting free printing on the backs of journals. And then it was Lonnie's idea to release it in different color palettes, like pinks and blues and greens. So that's kind of all a goal, but I need your help. Do you want these available as prints too, or do you just want them as digitals? Because 40 pages will be a little on the expensive side to print, but still well within what you would expect to pay for printed paper, like perhaps cheaper than like some of the scrapbook paper pads, but well within that. So we have not decided if we want to release it as prints or just as digitals. I can't give the exact prices because we haven't decided or wrapped everything up, but I'll give you ballpark just so you can kind of think, you know. So ballpark around $5, probably coming in a little under $5 for the digital set for each color, but that's 40 pages. And they will be commercial handmade use allowed, so you can be using them in your journals to sell in the marketplace, Etsy, and other places like that. And then it will be about coming in a little under $15 for 40 pages printed, if we do that. So thoughts on that? I'd love to hear any thoughts, but it's a big project we're working on. We're enjoying it. And if there's any kind of neutral background that you specifically would love included in the collection, comment below, and Lonnie and I will see if there's a way we can add it to the collection. No promises, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, that's that. I feel like there was something else I was going to say before we go to the back room. I guess I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video that we do have 2 boxes of journals today. We have a box from Rita and a box from Marcy. And so we have a few journals added to the marketplace. Free shipping in the United States, exact shipping worldwide. And we're going to head back there in just a sec to look at these new journals. The website is nevermorecreations17.com. If they're still available, that's where they're listed. I hope that you enjoy the inspiration coming, and I will see all of you next week with more inspiration. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and let's head back there to take a look. So here we are in my back room, ready to film these 3 beautiful journals. These are in the shop for you if you're interested in purchasing them, as well as that little ephemera folder I showed you, the beautiful bovines. It's stuffed with ephemera that has cows, and so it'd be great for a farm type journal. So this is in the supplies section, and then these will be in the journal section. Free shipping to the United States. Excuse me. So here we go. Look at how pretty. Lyrics of Love and Nature. You have some heart stitching. It's a lot of layering fabric. Oh, I can feel like bubble wrap packaging under this to make this really cool crinkly feel. Beautiful beads and a button on the spine. See who this is from. I already forgot. I set these out yesterday and I already forgot. This is from Marcy. Marcy created this. It's called Love and Nature. It's a challenge journal. So she's used Outside Grandma's Window, which is this bird in lace one here. She's used stained lace. We've talked about that the last couple days. Miscellany, which is an ephemera pack, as well as beautiful petals, creamy cranberry garnet, ledger bouquets, and vintage wallpaper. The vintage wallpaper is in Vintage Image Collection. The others you can find in my shop, printed or digitally, and some other digitals from a few other shops. My boys are home on a snow day. It didn't snow, but the roads might be icy. So they're finishing up a to-do list that I had given them to do, and they're just at the end of that, and so they may be knocking on the door asking questions, and so if I get interrupted, that's why. But let's look at this gorgeous journal. Beautiful hand-dyed papers, beautiful illustrations. This is from Beautiful Petals. That's one of my old kits. Very nice and gorgeous. I like the colors. It's nature, but they're these reds and pinks popped in there that are absolutely beautiful. This one is from Hedgerow and Pond, actually. As you collect my kits, you'll find that a lot of them go together, probably because of the aesthetic, and this is stained lace, and what I gravitate toward. Just some whoop. Lots of cute little ephemera pieces. Oh, I love the mulberry paper in here. That goes really well. Some bird stamps. This is Ledger Bouquets. It is a beautiful paper pack. Outside Grandma's Window. This one's Creamy Cranberry Garnet. Inksaver Bouquet script. She printed it on vellum, like a nice heavy vellum. That's gorgeous. Cute. Marcy, this is just beautiful. And it's not a Valentine's journal, but you know, it could be. It could be a Valentine's journal. You could use it any time of year, but definitely if you're thinking about getting a journal for February, this would be a great one. I love some of the jaggedy pages that it looks like she used a tear ruler on. Gives it a really cool aesthetic. And the cover's large enough here that it's protecting those edges. It just goes over it a little bit. I love that, Marcy. How gorgeous. And crinkly. Can you hear that? Love that. So that was from Marcy. Then you probably already recognize this paper here, which is, again, Outside Grandma's Window. And I think this one's from Rita. Yes, Rita only sent one journal. Birds and Lace. And Outside Grandma's Window, Miscellany, and Stained Lace. And if you've watched my channel for a while, then you know Rita, because she's been with the marketplace for a few years now. And her work is always just predictable in the best way. She uses high quality papers. They're nice and thick. Really a luxurious journal when you want those thicker pages so that you can use that favorite pen that always seems to bleed through thin pages. And if you're a writer, her journals are wonderful because she leaves so many places for you to write. And then you could put a photo over here. Got a cute little bag with just some ephemera that you can use. Whoop. On either side. I think these are from Miscellany, I want to say. I've done so many different ephemera packs that I can't always remember which ephemera piece goes with which pack. That's cute. Love the little ephemera folders there. Perfect for adding in your ephemera so you can use it throughout the journal. And a cute little library card in the back that you can fill out. Would make an excellent gift as well. It says journal right on the front. It's obvious what it is to somebody who's not really in the junk journal community. So this would be a great one to set aside as a gift to use for a birthday or something throughout the year. Okay, the last journal, I think we're back to Marcy. I think this one's from Marcy. Here's the cover, layered up. We have some fabric yo-yos, buttons, a gorgeous image here that says the apple tree. It has a fabric cover stitched, metal book corners, 3 signatures. I love the orange thread on this. That's really nice. And it's called Little Prairie Farm. It is a challenge journal from Marcy. She's used Daily Life. That would be this one. Miscellany. That's these little ephemera pieces. As well, and To Be a Child. These are probably from To Be a Child because they have children in them. Beautiful bovines. So perfect, you might want to order this to go with it. Botanical Whispers, Branch Labels, Button Labeled Botanicals, Country Peace, Ethel's Farm, Feathered Friends, Ink Saver Nature Notes, Limberlost, Rustic Weeds, and Vintage Image Collection. So I'm going to leave this here in case you want to pause it and search for any of these over on my website because they're all available. Other digitals from Artie Mae's Crafty Paper Trail and Design Bundles. Artie Mae's is Etsy. I am not familiar with Crafty Paper Trail. And then Design Bundles is its own website. So designbundles.net, I believe it is. And then you'll be able to find amazing things over there. So these 3 are the challenge journals. And then she used all these extra ones. This is branch labels up here. Look at these tabs. There's a little horse. Stay tuned. I'm almost done. I hope to finish today. I started an ephemera pack, another digital ephemera pack called A Horse, of course, and it is horse themed. It's ephemera, 5 pages full of different sized ephemera of horses. So if you purchase this, or if you just like horses, stay tuned. I'm hoping by the end of next week, hopefully before then, but by the end of next week to have that up in my shop. It can take a little while because I have to finish it, and then dear Lonnie has to format the whole thing, and that depends on her schedule. She's always extremely punctual, but, you know, things happen from day to day. Love that butterfly punch. And if it takes me longer than I expect to finish it, nice dyed paper. I think I need to when I finish filming and I have a second, I need to go coffee dye paper, because I'm working on a collection of journals. I didn't mention at the beginning of the video because I filmed the beginning yesterday afternoon, and then this is the following morning when I'm actually showing these. So last night, when I should have been finishing a completed project, I started a new one. Do you ever do that? You're in the middle of a project or 2 or 3, and you're like, oh, I have a great project and I have to start it now. So that's what I did last night, and hopefully I'll get to show you next week, but I decided to make a collection of 5 journals. No, not the best thing to be doing right now. I've got other things to do, but I decided to use my Forest Gems, so that's my mushroom kit. And I was embossing with gold embossing powder and doing all sorts of things that I shouldn't have been doing. This is from Beautiful Bovines. So now I have that unfinished project too, but I need coffee dyed paper for it. So I was telling Joanne this morning as we were doing our little morning chat, Joanne and I message pretty much every morning, and I told her how many projects I had to complete. She had wonderful advice. She said, just choose 2. Don't worry about the rest, but focus on 2. But which 2 do I focus on? So that's where I am right now. And then, of course, oh, look at the squirrel with the boys home from school today with the winter weather advisory and all that junk. I don't know. We'll see what gets done. This is daily life. It just prints out so beautifully. If you're familiar with my kit, Abandoned Beauty, Abandoned Beauty has these flowers in it, but it's a different kit. Daily Life would go with Abandoned Beauty really nicely. This is from Poetry of Trees. Of course, that goes with it really well as well. This is incredible, Marcy. It is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the leaves in there. You outdid yourself on this one, Marcy. It is fantastic. Thank you, Marcy and Rita, for your beautiful journals. The rest of you, do you have some journals that are completed, or would you like to work on some journals and send them to me? Go ahead and send them to me whenever they're completed. I'll make sure that they get cataloged correctly and shown at the appropriate time. I know it gets confusing. What date do I send them in? When will they be shown? I will handle that for you. I have a really good system right now where things are shown within 2 to 3 months consistently. So everything it is cataloged, it is numbered, it is set aside. I have a system. I know what I'm doing. So you don't have to worry about that. Just create, send it in, it'll get shown, it'll get sold, and you'll get paid. If you need to know the guidelines, Lindsay, oh, my mind is everywhere. Not Amazon, Facebook, my Facebook group. Nevermore Creations, Junk Journals and Friends. It is under the featured tab. It used to be called announcements. They changed it, but I'll have all the guidelines for that. But in short, at least 60 pages, no to minimal blank white pages, you know, it needs to be embellished and stuff like that. So would love to get some journals from you. I hope that you were inspired by these ladies, and I will see all of you next week with more inspiration.